Hello everyone, I am Buster Jimmy, and this is your favorite radio program, You've Gotta Be Jaking Me. With us today we have Septuple Bob from Landluppy, a small planet famous for their spaceship technology and ushering in of the dawn of gravity manipulation. Welcome to the show, Bob, we're glad to have you.
And I'm glad to be here, Jimmy.
Would you like to tell us a bit about yourself, Bob?
Yes, of course. I'm a spaceship designer who works at Prism Global. I'm 30, married, have 2 children, and I like to dabble in a bit of zone zapping.
Looks like you're doing pretty well for yourself, Bob.
Thankfully I am.
If you're permitted to talk about it, what ships have you worked on?
I can't disclose any information about current projects, but I can tell you a few I worked on in the past.
That's great to hear.
I worked on the Star Saint, the Void Mapper, and the Equinox of Stars.
So we've got ourselves a designer who worked on some of the Empire's historically most powerful ships.
It was a large effort done by a large number of people. I'm glad to have worked with them to have made works of art such as those.
Nevertheless, that's brilliant, you've been a great asset to this nation. Now let's get to the meat of today's sandwich.
Yes, of course.
Are you familiar with the rules here, Bob?
I think I could use a bit of a refresher.
Alrighty then, there will be 5 questions, each with 3 answers. 2 of them will be made up and 1 of them will be true. If you get more than 3 correct, you get a free coaster that has a picture of Mark Muffin's photogenic face. And if you don't get them, you get a coaster that has a picture of a biscuit on it.
Haha, alright, I think I'm ready.
Alright, let's start. First question is: when the Landluppy Act was instated on planet Quinta, the Exorbian administration had to A. Level the capital and burn all hints of resistance by making mass examples of people. B. Reinstate planetary segregation based off mental capacity. Or C. Abolish the planet's original constitution to prevent legal troubles and loopholes.
If I remember correctly, the answer is B. I remember something about reinstating segregation.
Righty-o, cheerio, that's 1 out of 5.
Alright.
Alright, on to our next one here. Okay, this one is pretty easy, but I'll ask you anyways.
An easy one, great.
This one is on the topic of Cuppy Landluppy.
Wow, that guy. I'm his biggest fan.
We'll see your dedication in just a moment, alright? Our second question is: what did Cuppy Landluppy do to the Cup gang back in 39 # 97 carat at 2, at with his old friend Mulch? Did he A. Dribble a basketball like yesterday's tuna salad? B. Scream like an old pair of scissors on New Year's Day? Or C. Enforce the Cuppy Code and mug them?
I remember that like the back of my hand. Cuppy enforced the Cuppy Code and mugged them. C.
Right-o, tic-tac-toe, that's the brisket in your butter.
He, with some spaghetti on the side.
Why don't you work here with me?
Sorry, but I'm not cheating on Prism.
Fair enough. Alrighty then, on to question 3.
I'm tingling with excitement.
With the removal of Arantian politics from the Spirangle system, how did the Arcanian Premier respond? A. Blow up the system leader's capital city.
There are sure a lot of things about doing things to the capital.
There sure are, Bob. Then we have option B, sacrificing her baby in a beautiful yet horrific manner to the space retina god in hopes of undoing Exorbian system control. And lastly C, demanding that the Arantian system of government stay in threat of a possible civil war, opting for a slower transition of power.
The Arcanian Premier was a strange one, but I don't think she'd go as far as to sacrifice her child like that. According to their religion, sacrifices to the space retina aren't allowed to be done out of self-interest, and she was a devout follower of Anthraniatism. Blowing up the system capital seems a bit crazy, so I'm going with option C.
Haha, I'm sorry, Bob, but you're actually wrong on that one.
Whoa, I thought I had that all figured out.
Don't worry about it. It's somewhat of a mix between options A and C. She blew up the capital with the intention to cause a civil war, in hopes that she could return to power.
Yikes, willing to go that far, huh?
Yep, those people are crazy.
I thought they were relatively peaceful, weren't they?
They are, but she wasn't an outlier of the bunch, she was obsessed with being in power.
Gotcha.
Alrighty then, now for question 4. Why was the tea part of the Mucklebaker Supreme absorbed as part of a ritual to fornicate with the Space Eye? A. To absorb the power of the least decayed bone, consumed by the flesh of the tarnished Ileana's gaze. B. To burn the heretics to her state-sponsored trade empire. C. To combine with the new Exorbian Archangel in Scaniel.
I'm guessing A. Ileana has been sought after by countless entities. Space entity Mucklebaker I feel would desire the power, right?
I'm sorry, Bob, but you're wrong again. It desired to fuse with Inscaniel, who gave it permission on that condition, which it failed to do. In the end, it wasn't powerful enough for Inscaniel.
Ah, I got you.
It's easy to mistake that, Bob. It's a difficult concept for most people to grasp. Now then, before we get on to the last question, it is time for an ad break.
Hi, I'm Niku, and this is Glumbocoin. Glumbocoin, the universe's first edible cryptocurrency. As a rich guy myself, I'm constantly being asked, how do you bake all that sweet, sweet honey? Well, it's simple. Glumbocoin is the next big thing. It is the king of crypto, the monarch of moolah, the sultan of salads. Glumbocoin changed my life around, and here's how. First, take a scone from your local diner and bet it all on the cuppiest of meals. They actually used to call me the king of calcium back in high school. Now they call me the luncheon of legal tendies. I have made 1 exorbillion dollops of maple syrup, all thanks to Glumbocoin. It's as simple as that, everybody. Oh, and I almost forgot. Another name of mine I picked up is the juicer of jack-o'-lanterns. How I got it? Easy. Hospitals over clubs, guys. Ingest in Glumbocoin today!
Alright, everybody, we are back in the bakery. This question determines Bob's fate. Will he get the muffin mattress or the biscuit brochure? In a few minutes, we'll find out on You've Gotta Be Jaking Me. You ready, Bob?
I'm ready as I'll ever be. I'm ready to make this cake go places.
Glad to see that enthusiasm. Now, for the final question of tonight's show. What is the nickname Administrator Yupples calls Administrator Chile Picante at times? A. Cunnykip. B. Bloody Ethra. C. Ascended Cupcake.
What the fuck are any of those? My goodness, I've never heard any of those words before.
It's a bit underhanded of a question, but you have to admit, it is a funny one.
That's true, it's ridiculous as hell.
Why don't you just take a guess?
Alright, I will. I'll go with a Cunnykip.
What made you decide Cunnykip?
I don't know, it just sounded funny.
Looks like your sense of humor got you a coaster of Mark Muffin's photogenic face.
Let's go.
Here you go, pal.
Thank you, it's brilliant. I will keep it a family heirloom.
Great to hear. Thanks for joining us tonight, Bob, on You've Gotta Be Jaking Me. It was a pleasure to have you.
It was a pleasure being here. Good night to you, Jimmy.